Victoria's Secret, once the undisputed queen of lingerie, has had a dramatic fall from grace. For decades, their brand was synonymous with glamour, fantasy, and those iconic, larger-than-life angels. But behind the glitter and wings, a darker story was unfolding. How did a brand that defined sexy for generations lose its way so spectacularly? Let's uncover the hidden scandals that led to the downfall of this retail giant. The story really begins at the top with Leslie Wexner, the billionaire founder of L Brands, Victoria's Secret's parent company. For years, Wexner was hailed as a retail genius. He built the small, struggling brand in 1982 and transformed it into a global empire. The secret to his success was creating a fantasy world, a very specific male gaze-oriented fantasy. The stores were designed to look like a Victorian boudoir, and the catalogs were glossy, provocative, and sent to millions of homes. The annual fashion show, started in 1995, became a cultural phenomenon, a Super Bowl of supermodels. It wasn't just about selling breasts. It was about selling an aspirational, unattainable ideal of beauty, and for a long time, it worked. The brand was dominant, crushing competitors and dictating what sexy meant. But the world was changing, and Victoria's Secret was not. While new brands like Aerie and Fenty started celebrating diversity, body positivity, and inclusivity, Victoria's Secret doubled down on its one-size-fits-all vision of perfection. The stubbornness came to a head in a now infamous 2018 Vogue interview with Razek, the company's longtime chief marketing officer. When asked why the show didn't include plus-size or transgender models, Razek's response was dismissive. He said the show was a fantasy, implying that these women didn't fit into it. The backlash was immediate and fierce. It was a PR nightmare that crystallized everything wrong with the brand's outdated philosophy. But the brand's problems ran much deeper than just tone-deaf comments. The real rot was happening behind the scenes, tied to one of the most infamous names of our time, Jeffrey Epstein. Leslie Wexner and Jeffrey Epstein had an unusually close relationship that spanned decades. Wexner was Epstein's most powerful client and for a time, his only one. He gave Epstein sweeping power over his finances, his personal life, and even his business. This wasn't just a simple client-advisor relationship. Epstein was given power of attorney over Wexner's entire fortune, a level of trust that baffled many. Disturbingly, Epstein allegedly used his connection to Victoria's Secret to his advantage. Multiple models and aspiring models have come forward with stories of how Epstein would pose as a talent scout for the brand. He would lure young women with the promise of an audition or a spot in the famous catalog, only to assault them. The prestige of the Victoria's Secret name became a tool in his predatory playbook. The connection cast a dark shadow over the entire brand. How much did Wexner and other executives know about Epstein's behavior? This question hung in the air, tainting the brand's sparkly image with something truly sinister. While these scandals were brewing, the business itself was crumbling. Sales were plummeting. The once packed stores felt empty and dated. The brand that had once been a teen rite of passage was now seen as out of touch, even cringy. Younger generations, empowered by social media and the hashtag #MeToo movement, rejected the narrow, objectifying beauty standards that Victoria's Secret represented. They wanted comfort, authenticity, and brands that reflected their values and their diverse bodies. Victoria's Secret was still selling push-up bras and fantasy, while the world was asking for bralettes in reality. The company tried to pivot. They canceled the fashion show in 2019, a move that would have been unthinkable just a few years earlier. They started featuring more diverse models in their campaigns and launched the VS Collective, a group of accomplished women meant to replace the angels. But for many, it felt like too little, too late. The changes seemed reactive and opportunistic rather than a genuine evolution of the brand's core identity. After decades of promoting a single exclusionary ideal, could they really convince consumers that they now stood for empowerment and inclusivity? The trust was gone. In 2020, Les Wexner stepped down as CEO of L Brands, and a deal was announced to sell a majority stake in Victoria's Secret to a private equity firm. That deal eventually fell through, but the brand was later spun off into its own publicly traded company. The new leadership has been working hard to rebrand, to apologize for the past, and to build a new identity from the ashes of the old one. They're changing store designs, product lines, and marketing strategies, all in an attempt to win back a generation of consumers they alienated. The story of Victoria's Secret is a powerful cautionary tale for our time. It shows how a brand, no matter how powerful, can collapse when it fails to evolve with culture. It demonstrates the danger of a toxic internal culture and the catastrophic consequences of turning a blind eye to misconduct. The fantasy that Victoria's Secret sold for so long was ultimately just that, a fantasy. And when the curtain was pulled back, the reality was far from beautiful. The brand is now fighting for survival, trying to prove that it can learn from its scandalous past and become a force for good in the modern world. Whether they can truly shed their old image and earn back the public's trust remains the ultimate question. Thanks for watching. If you found this look behind the brand interesting, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the stories that shape our world. See you next time.